latest ITV news in the Tyne region.
With Amy Lee and Helen Ford.
Hello there, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. On tonight's programme, setting their terms, the families of those who died at a troubled mental health trust start laying the groundwork for their public inquiry. A man's told to expect a long prison sentence for a crash that killed a mother on North Tyneside just before Christmas. Make or break, Newcastle United have 2 more games to go to make it further in the Champions League than ever before. And a farewell to arms, serving members of the HMS Richmond parade through the town before the warship is decommissioned. First tonight, to the meeting that they never thought would happen. Families of those who were failed by our biggest mental health trust meet to decide what they want from their public inquiry. The government announced the investigation into failures in care at the Tees, Esk and Wear Valley's NHS Trust last month, saying it was the best way for bereaved families to get the truth and accountability they deserve. Our reporter Katie Cole is in Middlesbrough for us tonight, where that meeting is underway. Katie.
Yes, Amy, this is the first time that families have met since that announcement was made by Wes Streeting back in December. Behind these doors, the meeting started around half an hour ago, and Wes Streeting has said that he wants the input of families on this. Many of the families here tonight have campaigned for years for this inquiry. Among them, the father of Emily Moore, an 18-year-old woman from Shildon who took her own life at Lanchester Road Hospital in Durham in 2020. He told me that this is a huge relief that this process is now underway.
It's probably something I thought probably wouldn't happen. But it has, and I think everybody wants to make this count, from those who've lost family members to those who were still in their care. If it wasn't or didn't come across as it did in December, I'd still be fighting now. I promised my daughter that, and I'll keep to that promise.
On the chairs behind that door tonight is one of these, which is going to explain to the families what a statutory public inquiry is. It means that staff at the Tees, Esk and Wear Valleys Trust, past and present, will be compelled to give evidence. Mr Streeting also said that he wants the families say on the terms of reference for this inquiry. What do they want it to cover, and who will be the chairperson? Someone from the legal world or a health professional? And then next month, some of the families will meet with the Department of Health.
Well, I was quite surprised how much he appears to want families involved. To have them involved in the terms of reference is really, I think, quite unusual. To have them involved in the choice of the chair is really quite unusual. He's set up their own email address down at the Department of Health, and I hope these meetings with the Department of Health will become a regular thing.
Tonight, the Tees Trust has said that it will support the process with transparency, openness and humility. Its Chief Executive, Alison Smith, who joined in September last year, said that she has met with patients who have shared their stories, and she is committed to listening, reflecting and taking meaningful action to improve the experiences of patients, carers, families and staff. This will not be a quick process. A chairperson is expected to be selected by the end of next month, but it is unlikely that the full public inquiry will begin until early next year.
OK, Katie in Middlesbrough for us this evening. Thank you very much indeed. Next tonight, a man's been warned that he faces a lengthy term in jail after admitting to killing a woman in a crash on North Tyneside last month. Ryan Scott appeared at Newcastle Crown Court, where he entered pleas around the death of 39-year-old Claire Laybourne. Well, Amy Sutton was in court for us, and Amy, those pleas were accepted.
Yes, Ryan Scott appeared via video link from HMP Durham this morning. The 28-year-old from Blythe admitted causing death by dangerous driving, causing serious injury to another woman by dangerous driving, and driving whilst uninsured. Now, the fatal collision on December 5th last year caused Claire Laybourne, a mother of two from Helen on South Tyneside, to lose her life when the car she was travelling in collided with a Skoda Fabia. Now, the driver of that Skoda, Ryan Scott, did not stop at the scene on the A19 near Holy Stone on that Friday night. It was just before 11 p.m. and instead he fled on foot. Miss Laybourne was rushed to hospital and died the next day from her injuries. I've briefly spoken with a member of the family today who said that they're heartbroken, and we know that communities across South Tyneside have rallied around the family in support, and donations have now reached more than £43,000. Well, today in court, Judge Penny Morland warned the defendant and those with an interest in this case should understand lengthy and immediate custody is inevitable. The judge told Ryan Scott he should be under no illusion about the outcome of the case. Ryan Scott has been remanded in custody until there's his sentencing hearing, which will be back at Newcastle Crown Court on February 23rd.
Amy, many thanks. You're watching ITV News. Tyne Tea is still to come on tonight's programme. The Champions League returns. Newcastle are after a spot in the knockout stages. They welcome Dutch side PSV to St James's Park.
Farewell, HMS Richmond. Service personnel from the ship parade through the town to say their goodbyes.
And we did see some brighter breaks this morning, but the clouds increasing, the rain arriving, a sign of things to come through the next few days. I'll have your forecast later.
Next tonight, has helped countless young people set off on the right road through life. But now a charity which teaches motorcycle skills and safety is facing an uncertain future.
Yes, thieves stole the training fleet used by the Richmond Area Motorcycle Project, or RAMP as it's known, which is based at Catterick in North Yorkshire.
Now volunteers are asking for support to try and get back up and running. Lisa Adlam reports.
The motorcycle skills offered by RAMP are in such demand there are waiting lists to take part. Aimed at teenagers from 13 to 19, it provides not only riding tuition but maintenance and mechanical know-how. Chloe Hollinshead was one of the very first to enrol. 20 years later, she's a leading light within the charity and was devastated when their 4 training bikes were stolen from RAMP's base in Catterick. And how did it make you feel when you've been involved with this for so long and you've clearly sort of poured your heart and soul into it?
So when I come and I seen it, I was absolutely heartbroken, because I was like 20 years, and you can go 20 years and you just never expect it to happen. And then just to get that phone call, I didn't know where to go, what to do, who to contact first. So I'm absolutely gutted, and I just hope that we can build on from this, and we can get back up and running in March.
From March to October each year, RAMP takes novice riders from the first rev of a bike to tackling off-road courses, aiming to build confidence along the way. Set up by former police motorcyclist and retired army chaplain Father Tim Forbes Turner, following a spate of antisocial riding in the area in 2006, it's gone from strength to strength.
A group of us decided it'd be a good idea to try and educate them how to ride properly and sensibly and responsibly, and encourage them to be better citizens, if you like, and to relate to adults like us. We've got through about 600 youngsters now since we started, and they still keep coming back to help out.
I ended up coming on it. I did it for 4 weeks, and then I wanted to come back, so I came back as like a young helper, so I helped the others learn how to ride, like how I did.
Yeah, I get the enjoyment of helping people, but it's also the enjoyment of the bikes. Through this course, it helped me get the confidence to get my bike licence. It kind of just gives me the enjoyment of helping people in the community.
And how does it make you feel that someone's done that?
Quite angry, actually, because it's been running for 20 years, and this is the first time it's happened to us. So why did they need to do it to us then?
3 men have been arrested and are on bail as North Yorkshire Police continues to investigate the thefts. While 2 bikes have been found, they're continuing to appeal for information and witnesses to find the others. Even if they are recovered, repairing the bikes to meet rigorous safety standards will take time and thousands of pounds, and it's money a charity like RAMP simply doesn't have. But members and volunteers here are determined to do all they can to get back on the road.
Losing the bikes set us back, but we are quite, let's say, a positive crowd, and we can see our way forward to the future.
With fundraising appeals now underway, they hope that future will benefit hundreds of young people yet to come. Lisa Adlam, ITV News, Catterick in North Yorkshire.
The ITV Evening News continues after us with your national and international headlines.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News at 6:30, Trump takes a dig at Europe during his speech at the World Economic Forum, saying it's not moving in the right direction regarding immigration.
Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable.
Harry versus the Daily Mail, with the Prince saying he couldn't complain about their intrusive articles at the time due to his involvement with the royal family. And the Brit Award nominees are announced, with the show held outside London for the first time ever. Do join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Powering local sport in the community, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
And it's time for sport now. Newcastle United's European hopes are on the line over the next week as the first phase of the Champions League reaches a conclusion.
Yeah, tonight they face the Dutch champions PSV Eindhoven at St James's Park, and Jonny joins us in the studio with more on tonight's game. Jonny.
Thank you very much. Well, with 2 games to go in the new Look League phase of the competition, and this is the moment everyone starts scrambling for position. The Champions League table features 36 teams, so it's hard to bring them all on screen. But here's the part that's most relevant, of course, to Newcastle United. In an ideal world, they want to finish in the top 8, because the top 8 goes straight through to the knockout stages and avoid the playoff round. It's not the end of the world if they have to go through to the playoff round, but it's 2 extra games a tired and overworked Magpies squad could do without. Which brings us to tonight's game, because realistically, if Newcastle are going to finish in the top 8, they need to beat PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah, it's a massive incentive because it means less games in a season when we've been stretched physically, mentally. The priority is to qualify however we do that, whether that's extra games, whether that's in the top 8 is obviously our wish. So we're striving with every game to maximise what we can deliver. We've got 2 games that we need to, as I said earlier, commit to every game, try and win every game and see where it takes us.
Now, the Dutch league isn't considered perhaps one of the strongest leagues, Jonny, in Europe, is it? But that doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy game against PSV tonight. They're no pushover, shall we say?
Just the opposite. They're the reigning Dutch champions, and they're 16 points clear at the top of the Dutch leagues this season. This is PSV training at St James's Park last night. They won't be intimidated by their surroundings because they're an awesome road team. Would you believe they haven't lost a single away game in any competition this season? That includes a 4-1 win at Liverpool in the Champions League a couple of months ago. They are very, very happy travellers.
It's not really a secret. It is the same mentality when you play at home as when you play away. Always try to win. And not only that, the way of playing is also the same. And of course, it's about the strength of the opponent, whether you can play the same. The idea is always to play the same.
A quick history lesson explains why the Sir Bobby Robson statue will be a popular photo stop for fans of both teams tonight. The black and white Knight had 2 spells as manager of PSV Eindhoven and won them 2 league titles. There's head-to-head history as well. PSV won at St James's Park in the Champions League in 1997, but Newcastle beat them in a UEFA Cup quarter-final second leg here in 2004, with the late Gary Speed getting the winner. Now turning to domestic matters, there's a big game for Middlesbrough in the Championship tonight. They're all going to be big games for Borough from now on because the promotion race is hotting up. Ipswich won last night, so they're up to 2nd, but Middlesbrough will reclaim 2nd place if they win at Stoke, which is never easy on a wet Wednesday night, as everybody knows.
I heard in Sweden since I was a little bit kid, but can you do it in a rainy night on the Channel or in Stoke? So yeah, it would be fun to go there. I think would be a tough game as always in this league.
Let's quickly look back at the North East derby in the National League last night. Gateshead, who've lost 10 in a row, took the lead at Hartlepool, but the man who scored that goal, player coach Lewis Story, was later sent off. That changed the game, and Hartlepool came back to win 2-1. They're just outside of the playoff places. Gateshead stay rock bottom. But over at St James's Park, it is a crucial night for Newcastle United as they try, of course, to book their place at the business end of this season's Champions League.
Jonny, thank you very much indeed. Big games ahead tonight. Now, Richmond in North Yorkshire has had a long association with the military, stretching back hundreds of years.
One special relationship, though, will be coming to an end in the next year as the warship HMS Richmond, which is named after the town, is decommissioned.
Today, some of those serving on the ship paraded to say farewell. Chris Jepson reports.
Royal Navy's in town, marching through Richmond Market Square to mark the decommissioning of HMS Richmond this year. The Type 23 frigate was the last warship built by Swan Hunter shipbuilders, launching in 1993 and commissioned in 1995. Currently based in Plymouth, today her crew visited the town for a final farewell.
It means an awful lot. Not every day you have a ship that's named after your town that's been decommissioned. It's terrific to see in what's predominantly an army environment, the Navy being represented in this way.
It's marvellous because it reminds us of the link, and although it's a sad day to see, we're hoping that ultimately there will be another ship at some point. So it's great for the town to see and share HMS Richmond and the fact that they have the freedom of the town.
In World War II, we had the biggest navy in the country, so actually, yeah, it's always usually the army with regards to celebrations around here. So to actually have the navy come up and do it, I felt that it was good for the town.
Around 45 sailors in attendance, just back from an exercise in the Western Indian Ocean. The crew proud to parade in Richmond.
This is an army town now, we understand that, so it's great to come and flash a bit of dark blue, remind everyone that the Navy's here, and thank everyone for their support, because it does mean a lot when we're operating around the world as we do. We've just come back from Operation HIMARS, which was the carrier striking deployment for 2025, so we went to Australia, South Korea, Indonesia. She's seen action in 2003 in the Gulf, and 2 years ago in the Red Sea. So she's had a busy career. She's defended our allies, our partners around the world. So yeah, she's had a really good innings.
Bestowed the freedom of the town in 1996, the Royal Navy connection has always been strong.
Well, having an affiliation is something that's really quite a big thing for us, because it sort of helps bring the community together, and that's what it is. And obviously the sailors that have been aboard the ship really do hold a very special place in our hearts, and they're always welcome to the town. Always welcome.
What it means to the people in Richmond and to ex-forces members, it means a lot for them to come and have that association. So it's been a real good day today.
As the crew march off, it symbolises the end of a successful 3 decades of operations for HMS Richmond. Chris Jepson, ITV News, Richmond.
Lovely scenes there today in Richmond, a really poignant day, and they were really fortunate, I think, Ross. They managed to sneak in that parade before the weather started turning nasty.
Day of two halves, wasn't it? Yeah, this morning, beautiful, actually. We had plenty of sunny spells around. It was calm, light breezes like here at Seaburn. Lovely. This afternoon, though, well, we'll stay on the coast. We'll move a little bit further north. There you go. Here's Amble. Completely different. Yeah. Wet, windy, the big waves approaching. Lots of cloud this evening. We did get some cloud breaks last night. I also gave an alert for the aurora.
You did?
Sometimes the two come together.
It's like magic.
Last night they did. People were out with their cameras. It was showing. It was a spectacular display if you did see it. I've been collating some of the pictures we got sent in. Here are just a few before the forecast. Enjoy.
icy start to the day will give way to a series of oohs and ahs. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tees weather.
We did at least see some brighter breaks around earlier today, but of course the cloud has been filling in. Low cloud, murky conditions, spells of rain, windy as well, and we hold on to these conditions through the next few days. It is going to stay unsettled. Still areas of low pressure dominating our weather at the moment. There's a blocking pattern, and that means the low pressure systems trying to push their way in from the west and clear their way further east are just stalling by the UK, and around those we get the rain, we get the showers, and also those strong winds. For now, coming up from the southeasterly direction, but through the weekend, a change in air mass expected to drop those temperatures by a few degrees. For now, though, as we head through this evening and overnight, actually relatively mild for the time of year. Still some gale force gusts in the mix, spells of rain, there's lots of cloud, murky conditions over those higher routes. These are the overnight lows, though, around 6 or 7 degrees. That's about right for the average daytime high for this time of year. So although it's not too high, it does mean for January, again, a mild start. Mild but messy, further spells of rain, sometimes heavy. The winds coming up from that southeasterly direction, pushing that rain a bit further inland, so there will be some drier weather at times as we head through the day. Even the chance at times that cloud's going to lift, we'll see some brighter spells, but generally cloudy, dull, misty and murky over higher routes, and highs of around 7 degrees. Through Thursday and into Friday, for now, with a blocking pattern, there's little in the way of change, just these areas of low pressure jostling around. Friday morning, we'll see some brighter breaks at times, but the cloud is thickening. Again, bits and pieces of patchy rain. In fact, through the next few days, generally the rule is the cloud is set to dominate with occasional brighter spells. Bits of rain in the mix as well. As we head through the weekend, it's here we're expecting those temperatures to fall by a few degrees.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tees weather.
Thank you, Ross. And just before we go, a little bit of late-breaking showbiz news for you about the Brit Awards tonight. It's just been announced that Sam Fender is up for 4 awards, including Song of the Year and Best Rock Alternative Artist. He's going to go up against fellow Tynesider Jade, who's up for 2 awards, including Pop Act of the Year, the big one that everyone wants, so Artist of the Year. National news is coming up next.
Fantastic. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.